Hi, welcome to Bipolar Boxing Picks. This is Nick. I'm going to be doing my breakdown for Artur Beterbiev with Anthony Yarde. Beterbiev's 38 years old with a record of 18-0 with 18 knockouts. Anthony Yarde is 31 years old with a record of 23-2 with 22 knockouts. I see this being a very tough fight for Anthony Yarde. Not many paths to victory for that guy. His only chance is the good old puncher's chance, as they say. And but even at that, I think his puncher's chance is going to have to come early against Beterbiev, because I have a feeling Yarde's going to be on his back foot all night. And the more he's on his back foot, the more tired he's going to get. So the less likely there is of a knockout in the later rounds, especially if he's going to be getting hit like I think he's going to be all fight. I think in the later rounds, he would be, if it makes it to the later rounds, he'll be in more of survival mode than anything. And it'll just be up to Beterbiev to just decide what he wants to do with him. If he wants to kind of carry him, but even if I think he tries to carry him in the later rounds, like I said, Yarde's going to be very tired, and eventually Beterbiev's going to knock him out. I don't see any other way this fight can go. I don't see any way Yarde really lasts to the end. I just don't. But I'll say Beterbiev by like a fifth round KO, I would say. I see Yarde. His only chance to win this fight is to make it pretty much a 4 or 5 round fight. He's going to have to go out there, balls to the wall, and he's probably going to get knocked out if he does that, but that's his only way to win. I mean, what else are you going to do? You can't sit there on the back foot all night trying to pick apart Beterbiev. Like, that's not your skill set. And but you are very strong, and you're a finisher. You can knock guys out. You're going to have to do it early, though. You're going to have to open up in rounds 1 and 2 are going to be very interesting, I think, if Yarde decides to do that. But if he just gets dominated from the get-go, if Beterbiev wins the first 2 or 3 rounds, it could just get ugly, or Beterbiev's going to just win every round, and Yarde could get afraid early and not want to exchange with him and just kind of hold all night. But even if he does that, that's a very tiring way to fight. And to just sit there and hold, and then you're on your back foot, hold, and then you're on your back foot, you're going to tire out eventually. And I don't think Yarde's got the best stamina as it is anyways. So I would pick Beterbiev to knock him out within 6 rounds. Like I said, I'll go with round 5, but he should be able to get him out of there fairly early, just because the styles make fights thing. I don't think Yarde's a bad fighter whatsoever. He's still a top. I mean, you probably got to have him. He's still a top 5 guy, even if he loses this fight, top 6 or 7 at least. But I would love to see him against guys like Joe Smith, or he's never fought Callum Johnson before, but those would be great fights. And then let's just get Beterbiev versus Bivol next, please. But after that, there really isn't nowhere else to go in that division. I mean, Kovalov's gone. Joe Smith, he got dominated by both Beterbiev and Bivol, but to be honest, he's probably the 3rd best fighter still in that weight class. So it's there's only one fight to make after this, and that's another thing for Beterbiev. Like, I think he needs that fight for his legacy. I mean, if he got a chance to retire undefeated after beating Bivol, he'd go down as one of the greatest fighters of our generation, especially for that weight class. But then it's another thing. Like, he's not going to throw that opportunity away by taking Anthony Yarde lightly, and you don't get paid for overtime. So I see him getting him out of there pretty early. But most of that's because Anthony Yarde just doesn't have the boxing skills. He's not like, I know Godsvik. He lasted 10 rounds or so with Beterbiev. That Adam Deniz guy made him look somewhat normal. But those are just styles. I believe Yarde's better than that Adam Deniz guy, but I don't think he lasts as long as him. And like I said, we'll go with 5th round knockout, Artur Beterbiev. From the betting perspective, Beterbiev's anywhere from like -800 to -1200. There's really just nothing to parlay him with the rest of the weekend, though. The fights that are happening later on that night, there's a 50-1 favorite, and then I believe a 100-1 favorite. So there's nowhere value to take this fight, but I ain't gonna throw my money on Anthony Yarde just to take a long shot. I'm not doing that either, because the only way he's gonna knock him out is if it comes within the first couple of rounds. But if that happens, it happens. But not very likely. So we'll go with Beterbiev, 5th round knockout. Let's see how it goes. Have a good night.